In this video, I'm going to talk about what is OPM in real estate. I'm going to talk about the types of OPM and the pros and cons of using it, and a few other little things like OPC and OPI. How about that for like a big one? That'll come at the end, so I'm going to make you stay the whole time. All right, so I love OPM. I am OPM. I think OPM, which is other people's money, is the most amazing way, not only to get into real estate, even though that's what you clicked here for. I've used it to buy companies. I've used it to leverage cannabis land. I've used it to, let's see what else, leverage the Black Hole, which is the membership of the Raider Nation football team. Yep, I'm a part owner of NFL football team, the Raiders. We used OPM. So I am a massive fan. In fact, when you can use other people's money, keep yours invested. That's the strategy, right? So that's not the end of it. We'll get to OPC and OPI at the end because they're massive strategies I don't think a lot of people talk about. We're going to talk about the alternatives. What are alternative resources? And one that's probably going to go away sooner than you think. So you better get to it, make some decisions, and just good debt, bad debt, debt in general, right? Because a lot of people think debt is bad. I think it's fabulous. You're going to by the end of this video. So what is OPM? OPM, other people's money. Now that can come in so many forms and fashions, but in traditional real estate, OPM means hard money lending, right? It's hard money lending, which means somebody is put together. It could be a person, right, who just has extra money, has extra cash, and is available to be your lender. The cheapest you're going to get away with is 8%, 9%. Most people are paying 10 and 12. Some people, you're going to pay them 14 to 16% for hard money loans. And it really depends on the project, and it depends on you, depends on your team. Like I know personally, before I look at anything, even the project, I look at you. And if you are a disaster, meaning you're not incorporated, then it's a no-go. I would never borrow an individual money. So you'd have to be incorporated. You'd have to have a great operating agreement, a buy-sell agreement. We're going to have contingencies on the project. I want first position. But even when we get to the project, about you, do you actually have a team? Do you have a good bookkeeping system? Because if I hand you money, how are you going to give me reports if you've never done bookkeeping and you're doing it through checkbook balancing? So you are a huge reason why people will or will not give you money. And it isn't just about your credit. Typically, you're out here looking for OPM because you are either overextended, you've done too many projects, which by the way, if you're those people, not in this video, but on another conversation, you can put anything you want in my comments about other conversations. But I will show you how a couple in 18 months did their own credit and very creatively financed all of it on their own using their own extended credit. So there are ways to do that. But you're either overextended or you have bad credit. So you're out here looking for people who will give you money for real estate projects. And again, like I said earlier in the video, I have done so many other ways and asset classes using other people's money. I love it. So the biggest disadvantage is the cost of the money, right? Especially in this environment where you can get 2, 3, you might be at 4 if it's a big jumbo loan, tucked inside a trust and an entity. Lenders don't like that, but they will loan. It's still 5 and 6%. That's cheap money. So when you can get cheap money because you qualify for banks and traditional institutes, why go get OPM? Right? It is a big conversation with our more successful real estate investors is, do you use OPM? It's faster. It's more expensive. It can be more creative. Sometimes OPM will take a second position, but there'll be a whole bunch of contingencies to it. But again, when I'm looking at OPM as the lender to a person, I'm looking at the person. I'm looking at the team. One of my greatest mentors said, money will follow the management team. Because if you can't perform at a small level with your own stuff, why would I give you money to screw up more? So usually most of the people who want my OPM or OPM access, they have to become a client and get cleaned up. Meaning you got to get incorporated, you got to get a proper P&L and a balance sheet, show you know how to run bookkeeping, show you actually know the basics of how to track someone's money. I'm going to actually go out on a little limb over here to the other side and say OPM also could look like credit cards. And why does banks, traditional institutes give you loans? Same problem. You're not organized from a credit standpoint, from a tracking standpoint. So all of that matters. The good news for you is you can hire it. So the greatest, advantage right now, but again, earlier I said, we're in a very short time frame, are these interest rates. Now, that's kind of true and not. I mean, since 2008, 9, 10, the interest environment has never really skyrocketed. right? It's never gone, above 10 as a national interest rate. I mean, where like I know growing up, my parents were paying 18, 17, 16. I mean, those are insane interest rates that you'd have to pay for money. But right now you can get cheap money. So you really need to weigh all of the advantages. So now I'm going to bring in OPC. So some of you say, well, what's OPC? It's other people's credit. So in this environment, why wouldn't you find a partner, right? Instead of pay the higher interest, and I'm saying this against all terms because I love hard money and I love being that money to other people. Like I love giving loans at 12, 14% that I get paid. So, I'm saying this against me having any advantage of this, but go to the traditional banks. And if you can't, for whatever reason, your credit doesn't work, your credit extension, this is where you find partners. Like you really have to evaluate the numbers, bringing on a partner at a certain level where you get to use their credit through a proper operating agreement. You can protect their credit and make sure that their payments are always made, their credit's always preserved. It does not have to be 50-50. I love doing deal structure. 50-50, in my opinion, would be way too much for OPM or OPC. Just because they're bringing money doesn't mean they get the lion's share of the deal. Now, if you're got management team issues and they have to contribute, then they could work their way up to it. But OPC is phenomenal. And a lot of people don't reach out and use it. And again, it's all about the payment, making sure that you preserve their credit. You find an OPC partner that has a long range, you could buy all sorts of real estate projects using their credit, their lines, your money, your expertise, and put the project together. So fun to do it, but right now you really do need to look at traditional lenders and using OPC as an option to OPM, paying higher rates. One more option no one talks about is OPI, other people's IRAs. So IRAs are in the trillions, and a lot of them are very, what I call lazy. There's a lot of lazy assets in the IRA world, meaning people don't know what to invest in because the IRA is stuck with their prior employer. So I literally have taken people that had 4 or 5 jobs, brought it all together and self-directed. So I have access to several self-directed companies. You can find them online. I can tell you the good, the bad, and the interesting when we actually finally, you and I have a conversation, because there are some that are interesting. And there's one specific one that I love, and they will do land for cannabis. They'll do cryptocurrency. They have done our farms for hemp. Love them, and they'll self-direct into many categories. So when you self-direct, that's another way you could just become hard money. So it is like OPM, but you have to take it through a process of converting it from traditional 401ks into self-directed IRAs, up to the person who has it, whether they want to have a Roth and pay taxes now. But that money can be lendable money, and there are trillions of dollars of it. So you say, well, where do I find it? Usually the baby boomers who have retired. I hate that word because I think it's, retirement's an agricultural word. It means to go to pasture and die. So, the people that aren't working anymore, they've got a lot of IRAs, and usually they're sitting around and they don't have a lot of choices sitting in a financial institute. But when you self-direct them, you got gold. So there are millions of dollars there, folks. So OPI is another place. So in preference of cost to you, OPC, use traditional banks. OPI, you can get it actually probably 6 and 8%. OPM, front-facing hard money lenders, you're going to pay more for that money. Where do you find it? It's everywhere. It is everywhere. It's in your community. People may not call themselves that, but you just got to start the conversation. And I think a lot of you, you're living your asset and investment world like right here in your head. You might be working on it for an hour or 2 at night. You're not taking it seriously. When you come out into the market, I would let the agents in town, the brokers in town, I'd let financial institutes know. I would go to local RIAs, real estate investment associations. You got to be in the conversation. You got to let people know that you're out looking for other people's money. You're looking for hard money lenders to help with your real estate projects. You got to be pretty loud about it. So there's tons of groups on Facebook. There's tons of groups and the good old Yahoo groups. Believe me, there are 1,600 of them that are still up and at it for real estate, and they haven't converted over to Facebook. So Yahoo's got a tons of group in real estate. So a lot of you just got to go fishing. So if you're enjoying this, although I am not just real estate centric, I'm a real estate millionaire, and I have done over 1,000 transactions, more than some of these, hot new names that are saying, I'm a real estate expert. A lot of experience. So I want you to subscribe right now. I have tons of videos. And again, as you subscribe, click the notification. I'll be out here every day. If you want to hear more from me in real estate, comment, let me know. Your comments guide my conversation out here. So if you like a lot more real estate or just want to call into our office and have a real estate conversation, I have an amazing team of experienced millionaires and multimillionaires ready to help and coach you. Not any beginners and script readers. Be careful out there. There's a lot of that going on in this industry. So before I leave you, let's talk about good and bad debt. It's just being in debt. You know, if you're in real estate, you're going to be in debt. There's no reason you would ever pay off these kind of properties. So it's okay to take out mortgages at these low rates, 2% and 3%. You wouldn't pay off a $4,000 or $5,000, even $1 million property. You'd keep all that money. You'd leverage it to keep buying more. You just have to have an amazing, I'm going to say coach and mentor who can help keep looking at those numbers so you don't get over leveraged. Like what you buy has got to find its way out, not only to pay all the investors back and the OPM back and the OPC back or the OPI back, but it's got to come out with a profit for you, or why would you do it? Which means you need a darn good team, and that's not just one person, and it's not a simple bookkeeper. The bookkeepers that I would introduce you to have been doing this for decades. Our tax strategist is a master at really reducing your taxes and teaching you how to run real estate as a business and an investment. And there's two very different ways to hold that tax strategy. So there's no way you would pay all that off, right? As long as you're keeping proportional leverage. Now, as far as like bad debt, that's lifestyle stuff. That's because you go shopping too much. You need too many big screen TVs. Ladies, you need too many shoes. Like bad debt just needs to become part of a lifestyle that you manage. I'm a huge asset fan. I say assets over lifestyle. You can live your lifestyle later, or you do it right. I'll teach you to live a lifestyle. I've lived a lifestyle my whole journey. Right? I've had private planes. I have traveled all over the world. I have done all of this, and under the auspices and the strategy of I'm a real estate investor, I'm a real estate business owner. So let me teach you how to do it. You'll never go on a vacation again. You're going to go on business trips because real estate's everywhere. In fact, last big fun thing, I have somebody that is actually selling real estate out on ships. So a lot of the cruise lines that don't want to come back out are now converting into residences. They're charging anywhere between $289,000 to about $1 million. The World Ship has been in existence for a while. I have some friends that actually own and live on the World Ship that travels around the world. Their suites are started at $2 million. So interesting how you can buy real estate these days. You can buy it like that. I've got a client that Airbnbs his boats, and I know others that are getting into Airbnb-ing RVs. So I tell you, the creativity around real estate is phenomenal. The only reason you have bad debt in your life is because you're not managing your lifestyle. So stop it and get super addicted to shopping. If you're going to shop and you're a shopaholic, shop for assets and shop for real estate, and don't stop. So any of this information I would love to help you with. I'd love to help get you set up. That's what we do as clients. We help organize you so you actually look presentable to banks, to financial institutes. I have other options for loans and funding that we can click the video away for SBAs and IEDLs. Especially if you have real estate companies, there's so much funding available right now. I always say money's like water. And if you don't know where to find it, you need to click on the link. And seriously, you got to click on the link, apply for an application to work with me and my team. We have phenomenal real estate support. I mean, 12 hours a day, hotlines to experienced investors. You can have your deals go through there. Great real estate education. I'm a real estate millionaire since 1999. I'm so far into real estate right now. I'm having the best time. RV parks are cool. I mean, strip malls are going down. I have a client that bought a golf course. They're converting it into an active living and kept it a golf course. I have somebody just bought an old broken down community college who couldn't survive COVID. They're going to turn it into assisted living. People buying those mega mansion houses with 6, 8, 9 rooms, moving them to assisted living. $3,000, $4,000 a room. Can you imagine the cash flow? Airbnb's on fire. It's fun. It's fun time to be in real estate. So if you can't find funding, you must be sleeping.